I will be discussing in this video the civil fraud verdict against Trump, various Trump entities, his two sons, and others. This will be the first of at least 3 videos on this subject. I've read the 92-page court opinion in the civil fraud case, which is available for viewing on the internet for anyone so inclined. I would recommend reading at least pages 68 to 74 that describe fraudulent acts that form the basis for the court's verdict. I would recommend reading it, particularly if you believe that Trump is the victim and has done nothing wrong, or you believe his representations that have no factual basis that Joe Biden is behind the civil fraud trial brought by the state of New York. Facts do get in the way of having fact-free opinions about Trump's innocence and honesty. In this video, I will only be talking about one of the many examples of fraud discussed in the court's opinion, and I will go over some of the other ones later on. First, I wanted to talk about why there was not a jury trial. Trump's lawyers did not request a jury trial and have probably waived any argument that they were entitled to one, that Trump was entitled to one. The New York AG brought this case under Executive Law 63(12), which allows the state attorney general's office to investigate businesses or individuals who engage in, quote, repeated fraudulent or illegal acts, end quote. The remedies include injunctive relief and disgorgement of ill-gotten gains. These remedies are viewed as equitable in nature and do not trigger a right to a jury trial. While that is generally recognized as being the case, a good lawyer would have demanded one in the answer to the complaint and then litigated the issue if necessary, which would have preserved the issue for appeal, or possibly an appeal could have been decided for or against a trial by jury in the early stages of the litigation. The New York Attorney General has used that law in previous successful actions involving Trump University and Trump Foundation. The judge awarded prejudgment interest at the New York statutory rate of 9%. Pages 84 and 85 and page 91 contain information on this award. That will amount to a substantial sum in addition to the amount of disgorgements ordered by the court. There will also be 9% per annum post-judgment interest on the entire amount awarded, so that will make it even worse for Trump if he loses. The amount of post-judgment interest could be even more than you can imagine, really, since this case may take several years before it can be finally resolved, and for that entire period, that 9% interest is just tacking on money to the judgment amount. I discussed an appeal bond issue in connection with the Trump's appeal of the two verdicts in favor of E. Jean Carroll. It is my understanding that he will have to post an appeal bond in the civil fraud verdict case as a precondition to appealing it. I mentioned earlier that I would discuss just one example of fraud in this particular video that Trump committed, and that involves the valuation placed on Donald Trump's Triplex apartment in his financial disclosure statements given in connection with loans, insurance, and other financial transactions. I'm drawing this discussion from the court's decision starting at page 60 and other evidence submitted at trial. What is the most material fact is that the triplex had 10,996 square feet, but was represented as having 30,000 square feet on the disclosure statements. The overvaluation resulted from using the knowingly incorrect square footage and was estimated to be between $114 to $207 million in overvaluing this one property. Trump signed a document in 1994 that listed the correct square footage as 10,996 square feet. In 2010, when seeking insurance on the property, Trump personally showed the insurance adjuster around the triplex for about 15 minutes, but ushered him out before he could take any measurements. Trump's company claimed that the triplex had 30,000 square feet when seeking the insurance coverage on the property. Ask yourself this question. Is it possible to claim your house has square feet almost 3 times the actual amount without lying about it? Those asked to provide a valuation requested to inspect the property and to view the floor plan, but were prevented from doing so. Trump had told Forbes that the triplex had 33,000 square feet. After Forbes questioned the square footage in 2017, the Trump organization continued to use the 30,000 square feet as the basis for valuation, failing to correct the footage until after Trump became president and was no longer involved in preparing the financial statements.